There are fundamentally two paths by which a person can obtain what they seek, one through control and force, and the other through allowance. Allowance is the spiritual path, an approach in which one gives space for the laws of the universe to work on their behalf, delivering what is desired without strain or interference. In contrast, the path of control demands constant pushing, maneuvering, and struggling against life's current. This second route disconnects us from the vast, unseen forces that are always in motion. Choosing it is like swimming upstream. It may be possible to progress, but the journey will be long, exhausting, and uncertain, with a high likelihood of collapse along the way. Perhaps you've known someone who pursued a relationship by endlessly chasing the other person, compromising their own dignity and personal values just to win them over. The result, more often than not, was disappointment or emotional harm. It's a dynamic mirrored in other situations. Imagine being skilled at something, whether it's playing the guitar, painting a picture, or speaking in public. Then the moment an observer is present, performance falters. Why? Because self-awareness intrudes. The subconscious, which usually performs the task with ease, withdraws. The conscious mind takes control, and suddenly the natural flow is interrupted. Shakespeare captured this human tendency perfectly when he wrote, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players." Once an audience appears, the act begins, and natural abilities can turn into stiff performances. The subconscious mind operates the same way in countless areas. It regulates breathing without us noticing. If we tried to control our breathing consciously every moment of the day, we'd quickly discover how much focus it requires. The same truth applies to other automatic functions. From a scientific standpoint, the subconscious can be described as a system of deeply ingrained responses, like an autopilot, formed through experience. In spiritual terms, it is the inner divine program, a bridge between human limitation and infinite potential. It can do far more than the conscious mind, but it follows the direction the conscious mind sets. Many call it the deep mind, an immense portion of our mental capacity whose exact nature remains mysterious. And here's the paradox. If a miracle can be fully explained, it is no longer a miracle. That is why so much of the subconscious's power remains hidden, even though its effects can be felt. Personal experience shows that life flows more smoothly when we learn to trust this deeper mind. By instilling it with positive beliefs, statements like, "Money flows to me with ease," "I am loved and respected," "I am safe in all situations," we encourage it to bring those conditions into reality. Consider, for a moment, living life entirely through the conscious mind, chasing love through constant effort, sending out countless applications in search of work, pursuing money as if it might run away. This approach often leaves people drained, both physically and mentally. Many have lived this cycle and many have burned out within it. It's no different from what Einstein meant when he said, "Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results." The harder we try to force things to happen, the more depleted we feel, even in areas where we once succeeded easily. The less we lean on the subconscious, the more disconnected we become from higher guidance. Whether we call that source God, the universe, infinite intelligence, or something else. The conscious mind is, by nature, limited. It makes decisions based on memory, on what has been experienced before. It struggles to imagine possibilities that lie outside its own logic. Yet life often works in ways we cannot predict or rationalize. Picture someone at the lowest point financially. Their conscious mind is so overwhelmed that no creative solutions appear. It's as though they're locked inside a birdcage. In reality, the bars are thin enough to bend, but because they believe the cage is unbreakable, they never try. Problems at such moments seem permanent, unsolvable, and all attempts to force an answer end in frustration. But when effort after effort brings no progress, there comes a pivotal realization. Perhaps the barrier lies within the self, not the world. This shift in awareness can be like removing a blindfold. Suddenly, problems dissolve, not because the external situation changed first, but because the internal state did. Trusting the subconscious becomes essential here. And so, a question worth asking is, how often do our own thoughts obscure the truth of reality? The world contains far more than we can imagine. In fact, part of its design may be to let the divine express infinite variations through us. That's why the guidance is simple. When you meet someone new or step into any situation, don't overanalyze. Let things move on their own, as if you were on autopilot. Flow with it. Spend less energy thinking and more energy choosing what you want to experience. As Lao Tzu advised, life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. This wisdom reminds us that abundance comes not through struggle, but through harmony with life's flow. If you want to live abundantly, begin by affirming, "I am already living an abundant life." Hold this thought without dissecting the how. Avoid the mental trap of overthinking. Pick the experiences you want, then trust the subconscious to find the way. Building this trust takes time. Start small. Let it guide you in conversations, in finding the right opportunities, in drawing unexpected blessings such as free gifts or warm connections. Watch how it can transform small moments into pleasant surprises. By aligning it with universal laws, you may be astonished at how smoothly life can move. Here's a story to illustrate. There was once a person whose deepest longing was freedom. For years, it seemed like a fantasy they could never reach. They tried repeatedly, making plan after plan, but nothing worked. Then one day, they decided to let their higher self take the lead. They began in simple ways, letting it guide them in daily choices. As the trust grew, so did the changes. Gradually, without strain, they moved into the life they had always imagined. The freedom that once seemed unreachable became their reality, arriving in ways their old self could not have foreseen or arranged. And so, the same invitation is extended to you. Allow your higher self to lead. Begin with the little things. Nurture trust in this quiet guiding force. And then watch, because life may unfold in ways that are not only unexpected, but unexpectedly beautiful.